It's finally time for the van tour, so let's show you around. This is a 2011 Ford Transit mid-roof and mid-wheelbase van. It had around 160,000 miles on the clock when I bought it, but it was in pretty good condition. I spent £3,000 for the van and around £3,700 for the conversion. I'll be doing a separate video with a full cost breakdown if anyone's interested in that. This is now my second van conversion, however I'm still definitely a beginner, and compared to building my micro camper 2 years ago, it takes a lot more time and building materials for a bigger van like this one. After spending last summer living in my small caddy, I knew exactly what kind of layout I wanted when I decided to get a bigger van. So starting at this end of the van, I have two bench seats that work as sofas in the daytime and turn into a bed at night time. There is a table in the middle that is on a lagoon table mount, which makes it super easy to move around in the van even when the table is up. I really like having an open space and somewhere to sit in the daytime for eating meals or working at my laptop. This space then turns into a full width double bed. I sleep this way in the van and I just about fit, as it is slightly shorter than a normal bed would be, but I am only 5'5", so I fit perfectly. Underneath these benches is absolutely tons of storage space. I probably made the benches slightly too big, but at least that means lots of space to store things. The lids are on gas struts, so when the cushions aren't on top they are held in place, which makes it easy to access things underneath. I have some little storage cubbies in the wall, but I've yet to figure out what to put there. Over here I have a little shelf and some light controls. These little remotes are on magnets or in a few places around the van. I also have a switch for some funky mood lighting. I have a phone charger wire here too, so I can charge my phone when sat here or in bed at night. Next to the sliding door I have a shoe storage cupboard where I store shoes and some bits like toilet paper and composting material for my toilet, which sits right here. It's a small composting toilet and I wanted to have a composting one to be as off-grid as possible and not need to use chemical disposal sites. Opposite that I have a full-length storage cupboard. In the bottom I keep my Bluetti power station, which is what powers my whole van. I have 340 watts of solar on the roof that is wired directly into the power station and it keeps it charged. I have everything plugged into here, such as my fridge and lights, which are some LED strips in the ceiling. Most other devices I have are rechargeable, so they can be plugged in when necessary. I even use an air fryer sometimes too, and I'm trying to figure out what other devices I can power off of here too. Above this I have my wardrobe where I have most of my clothes stored. All of my t-shirts, trousers, shorts, underwear etc. are stored here. And I just have one additional bag of jumpers and bulky things that I kept under the bed. I have a roof vent which is already installed when I bought the van, which was handy. It's not electric, but I feel it gives a good amount of ventilation. It also has a fly screen, which is really good too. Moving on to the kitchen, as you can see I have plenty of worktop space and lots of storage. I have a drawer that contains cutlery, utensils and some everyday things. On this side I store my 2-burner gas stove. I use a combination of this and an air fryer for cooking and find it works really well. I can cook most things you would be able to in a house, so that's really nice. In this cupboard I have all of my cooking utensils and pots and pans and plates and things. I also store some bigger things at the bottom, such as the air fryer and my bin as well. I built a slide out pantry area and I was really impressed with how it turned out. This is where I store most of my food and is great for easy access, so I don't have to dig around for things. In this cupboard I store my water. I have two 25-litre tanks, both for fresh water, as I found that it's pretty unnecessary to have a waste tank. I just use a washing up bowl and empty it responsibly when I finish washing up. I just make sure to use eco-friendly washing up liquid and cleaning products. The tap is a rechargeable water pump inside the tap, so all it consists of is a tube into the water and the tap itself, so it's a really simple setup. I have a small Dometic fridge which actually fits a lot more than you'd think inside, and also has a little freezer compartment too, which I love. I use a combination of magnetic catches and these little hook things to stop cupboards flying open when I'm driving. On the side of the wardrobe I have a few shelves to store some things, as well as a kitchen roll holder. I have a spice rack inside these little cubby holes, and it works so well none of them have fallen out yet. At the end of the kitchen I have a little flip up worktop to create even more space and to be a bit more outside when possible. Above the cab I store my bedding and some toiletries in the corner. It's a little bit messy, but I think it would have been unnecessary to build a whole cupboard front inside there. And that's everything. And that is the end of the van tour. If you've got any questions about anything, leave a comment below and I'll answer those, and don't forget to subscribe to see where I take this van on my next adventures.